For years, the global consensus was loud and clear: Ukraine can't take back Crimea, just forget about it. Russia annexed it in 2014. They fortified it like Fort Knox with nukes, warships, and soldiers. It became Putin's Black Sea crown jewel. But guess what? Ukraine has flipped the script. They've been quietly laying out a strategy that might just take back Crimea, without a massive invasion and maybe even without firing a shot. This isn't just a bold idea, it's already happening. Let's break down Ukraine's three-part master plan and why Putin is panicking. What makes Crimea such a big deal? Crimea isn't just a pretty peninsula by the sea, it's a geopolitical beast. Controlling Crimea means controlling access to the Black Sea, and that means control over trade, naval routes, and power. When Russia snatched Crimea in 2014, it did so with little green men, mysterious soldiers with no insignias, creeping in with guns, convincing Ukraine to withdraw 25,000 troops without firing a shot. Putin called Crimea sacred. It's home to the Black Sea Fleet. It's a launch pad for military operations, and it's a chokehold on Ukraine's economy. Before the war, about 70% of Ukraine's exports flowed through Black Sea ports. Cutting off Crimea meant cutting off Ukraine's lifeline. No wonder Putin fought so hard to keep it. The Crimea is untouchable myth. Taking Crimea back by force? That's always been considered suicide. The geography is a nightmare. There's only a tiny land corridor connecting Crimea to mainland Ukraine that makes any attack predictable and deadly. Thousands of Ukraine troops would have to funnel through a narrow bottleneck while under constant fire. It's no wonder most Western analysts said Crimea is the lost cause. Don't even try. Even US officials like Adam Smith, no, not The Economist, declared in 2023, Ukraine's not going to militarily retake Crimea. But that's exactly what Ukraine is planning to do, not through brute force, but through brain over brawn. Step 3, Part 3, Ukraine's three-step master plan. So how does Ukraine plan to win back Crimea? With a strategic cocktail of naval domination, siege tactics, economic warfare. Let's break it down. Step 1. Sink the Black Sea Fleet. You can't defend Crimea without the Black Sea Fleet, and Ukraine knows that. Even without the proper navy, Ukraine used seaborne drones and long-range missiles to sink 26 Russian ships. That's not a typo, 26. The fleet was supposed to dominate the Black Sea. It's even shredded. And to make it worse for Putin, Turkey shuts the straits. Thanks to the Montreux Convention, Russian warships can't re-enter the Black Sea. No reinforcements, no replenishments, nada. By July 2024, Putin ordered his battered fleet to retreat from Crimea. Ukraine now rules the waves without even having a real navy. This is massive. It exposes Crimea to isolation. And that's where Step 2 kicks in. Step 2. Starve Crimea. Crimea's geography is not just a military headache. It's also a logistical nightmare for Russia. Water and supplies flow into Crimea mostly through the North Crimean Canal and the Kerch Bridge. These are huge vulnerabilities. Ukraine has hit the Kerch Bridge 3 times already with truck bombs, sea drones, and even underwater mines. Then there's water. 85% of Crimea's waters come from that canal. But after Russia blew up Ukraine's Kakhovka Dam in 2023, that water supply became fragile for both Ukraine and Crimea. Now, Ukraine has a chance to cut off waters and supplies altogether. No water equals to thirsty troops and angry civilians. No resupply routes equal to sitting ducks. This siege doesn't need tanks, it just needs patience and time. Step 3. Break Russia's bank. This is the slow burn. Ukraine knows it's in a war of attrition. Russia has already lost over 1 million soldiers to death, injury, or capture. That's not propaganda, that's official. And the cost? Astronomical. Each contract soldier earns $30,000 to $40,000 bonuses, plus monthly wages, plus compensation to families, plus tanks, drones, and missiles, most of which get destroyed. Russia's national wealth fund dropped from 150 billion to 38 billion. Gold reserves fell from 2,300 to 1,700 tons. Chinese yuan reserves also tanking, and Russia spent 5 billion in the first 3 months of 2025 alone. Meanwhile, desperate Russian soldiers are now wrapping tanks in wood to protect against drones. Yes, wood. This is what a collapsing war machine looks like. Ukraine's strategy? Just keep the pressure on, keep hitting the bridge, keep launching drones, keep bleeding Russia dry. Eventually, Crimea becomes more liability than asset. Part 4. Why this plan might actually work. All 3 pieces are now in motion. The Black Sea Fleet is retreating. Crimea's supply lines are under constant attack. Russia's economy is cracking. This isn't a lightning war. This is a siege, a chess game. And Ukraine is playing the long game better than anyone expected. According to strategic analyst Paul Warburg, the idea that retaking Crimea is impossible is a failure of imagination. It's not about storming the beach with tanks. It's about changing the conditions over time. Ukraine has already changed them. The world said, Crimea is Russia's forever. But Ukraine never believed that. And today, they are proving the world wrong, one drone strike at a time. So, will Ukraine retake Crimea tomorrow? No. But is it more likely than ever before? Absolutely. And they might do it in the same way Russia took it in 2014, without firing a single shot. If you find this breakdown useful, give us a like and subscribe to GeoPulse for more real in-depth fact-check takes on military strategy, history, and current conflicts. Because when it comes to modern warfare, the battlefield isn't always where the real fight happens.